Hello and welcome to my guide on how to install and use the tool which places waymarks instantly for you. So this tool is called Paisley Park, P-A-I-S-L-E-Y Park, and you can just Google it, Paisley Park FFXIV. And the link we want is literally the very first one, the Leon Blade / Paisley Park. You click on it. And then in here, you click on this button here called Releases. If it opens today, please. It shouldn't usually be this slow. Hello? There we go. In here, what we're looking for is the latest version that's up here. And then down here is the Assets button. And under Assets, we're looking for the paisleypark.zip. So we click on this one. Left click. There we go. We save it on your computer. There we go. It's downloading. Okay, now it's done. Don't close this window yet. We will need this a little bit later on. Now I'm gonna demonstrate what Paisley Park looks like. So I'm gonna open it now. Takes a second. There it is. So it opens this little window over here. I have prepared a little preset called test, and when you load it up, it places a couple waymarks for you instantly. And you can do this everywhere. You can do this in like Titan Savage, you can do this in Omega, in the raids, wherever you need waymarks. So first I'm going to delete my own Paisley Park so I can show you what to do with the zip file. So first I'm gonna delete the files it saves on roaming. There we go. Then I'm gonna delete the files inside of my ACT folder. There we go. Excuse me. So now you go to your downloads. This is where you downloaded your Paisley Park. The first thing you need to do is you need to right click, properties, and then unblock it. It's this tick mark here, apply and OK. You will need to do this every time you download it. So now you open it. Here are the files. So what I recommend you do is that you open your own ACT folder like this, and then make a folder inside here called Paisley Park, like me. So you open this folder and then you copy paste all of the files you just downloaded from here into this folder. There we go. You can close this. So now the file you're looking for is called the paisleypark.exe, this one. So you can just double click it and press yes. Would you like to use these offsets? Yes, please. Couldn't create safe backups? That's completely fine. It says that every time. So you all have this window now. You have this window now as well. So what do I do with this window? So the first thing you would want to do is you want to make sure you're in the area you're interested in having the preset for, and then that the marks are already on the ground, right? So let's assume that these are the correct marks. I want to save this loadout right here. So what I do is I click on the button with the 3 dots, and then I click on new and make sure that use current waymarks is enabled. Now as for the name, I type in this case it's like the lavender beds preset 1 or something to make sure I know what that is. Create. There it is. I just press OK. Now over here I can select this preset. If you have like multiple presets, it's gonna be like E4S, E3S, E2S, E1S, And then you can select it in here, click on it, make sure these are gone, and then press load, and they all appear. So in case you're fine with this, in case all you wanted was to just a button where you can say, okay, place the Waymarks and you're done, then you are already done with this guide. However, there is one more thing this program can do, and that is these waymarks can be activated by both CACBot and trigonometry triggers. So then this placing of waymarks becomes automated, so you don't even have to press the button. This can be useful especially if you want to be placing waymarks multiple times throughout one entire fight. Like, for example, this would be really useful in an ultimate fight where every single phase has its own waymarks and Paisley Park places them automatically. And you can have as many of these presets as you want. You can have like 3 different presets per phase if you want to. So it's quite flexible like that. So the first thing I want to do is reduce this delay. This is the delay in milliseconds in between each waymark placement. I like this to be smaller. So what we're looking for is this port. So what's this port for? What it does is it opens a how do I formulate this in a way that most people would understand? Basically, it makes it so this program starts listening on a specific website that only your personal computer has access to. And this is a way to make it so other programs can contact Paisley Park actively without delay. Okay, cool. How do we enable this? Well, in the port you can select any port that you don't have in use yet. The Paisley Park wiki tells you to use 1337. I tried, it didn't work for me personally, I don't know why. What did work was like 1200. This tick mark right here makes it so it starts the server automatically every time you start Paisley Park, so just tick it and forget about it, and then you press start. You wait a second, and since you can press stop now, you can be sure that it is working. So from now on, plugins like CACBot and Trigonometry can contact Paisley Park anytime they want. Great. So what do we do with this now? Well, this is why we have not closed this website yet, because up here is a button called Wiki. If you click on it and then scroll down a little bit, this right here is the guide on how to make it work with CACBot, and this here is the guide on how to make it work with trigonometry. I personally am not a fan of trigonometry, probably because I started using CACBot long before trigonometry, and I'm very comfortable with it. So I'm gonna show you how to use this with CACBot, and if you want to be able to use it with trigonometry, then you can check it out right here. If you want to know how to download and install CACBot, I have a guide on that as well. It's one of my previous videos. It is called Up to Date 2019 Plus, how to install ACT, Kagero or overlay, and CACBot. And that's the second half of the video. So once you do have CACBot, what you need to do is you need to make your own triggers which do talk to Paisley Park. So in this guide over here in this wiki, it shows you this is what the trigger is supposed to look like. The regular expression is what activates the trigger whenever you want to. So for example, when you bow in this case, then it creates the marks. In this case, this is A, B, and D. So A, B, and D here. and down here, this command, this fetch command, sends this information of please place these 3 waymarks to Paisley Park using this code right here. And this 1337 you see right here, this will be 1200 for us, because in Paisley Park we set this number to 1200. I will copy paste this into paste bin and put the paste bin link in the description down below the video, so you don't have to type this, because this is a picture, you can't copy paste the text in here. So how did I make this work? Well, I have Notepad open already. So this is my personal custom the Epic of Alexander Ultimate triggers. I have made my own file for my own triggers inside of here. If you've watched Arthur's Progit, then you probably already know about this Rocket Punch.wave and the Super Jump.wave sound files, where a anime girl is basically saying Super Jumpu. And here are the 3 triggers I have already made that fire when you enter the Epic of Alexander and when you wipe inside of Epic of Alexander. These 2 triggers basically set the Waymarks back to its default configuration that you want to have at the very start of the fight. And then I have also prepared a trigger that fires when the very first J kick goes out. That means at the very start of phase 2 of the Ultimate of Alexander. In case you want to know what the hell this means, please refer to my Cactbot guide. I actually explain what to do with it. It is possible that my last Cactbot guide, I tried to keep it very short, will refer to my very first one. I had my very first Cactbot guide was like an hour long, and the second half of it, the last 30 minutes roughly, concentrate on just to explain how to make your own Cactbot triggers. Regular expressions is its own entire language that is specifically designed so you can detect specific combinations of letters inside of a much bigger pool of letters. So for example, you have a text, you have a letter, that email that someone sent to you that is really long, and you want to detect if the name John Smith happens anywhere inside that letter, and if it does, you want to get the entire sentence with John Smith inside and make it so the program spits that letter out for you, so you the sentence out for you, so you only read that one sentence. It is really simple, very simple to do using regular expressions. That stuff like that is what this was designed to do. So moving on, what does this do right here is it fires when this is true. Suppressed seconds means it for 10,000 means this only fires once on the very first J kick. And then this is what the wiki also explained us how to do it. This ABCDE12, I specifically called it that because the Waymarks themselves are called that. And in-game, not in-game, the Paisley Park can differentiate between them. It doesn't understand what ABCD is, but what it does understand is this ID 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I could call this anything. I could call it this here, and it will still understand, because the only thing it needs to know that it's placing the A marker is that this is ID 0. And then you can also use this to turn off, to turn a waymark off using active is false. And then you can place them, this is the X coordinates, Y coordinates, and Z coordinate, where to place it at. And now you might think, okay, that's cool, but I have no idea what the coordinates are for the waymarks that I want to place. I'm glad you asked, because Paisley Park allows you to get the coordinates you want. See this preset you already made? If you press this button with the 3 dots, then click on this preset right here, and then click export, okay, and then in here you paste it, then look what you see. This seems like something we have seen before. Oh yes, this is where this information comes from. Right here. This looks very similar to this, for good reason, because it basically contains the identical information. So if you've created a preset, for example for E4S, for Titan, then you can extract the waymark locations using this export button. And now you know I had placed A on this X location, this Y location, and this Z location. The coordinate, I mean. And then you can copy paste these coordinates, for example, copy into here, right? Instead of this, you would have then this, right? I don't want to actually change these numbers. So you can copy paste them from here into here. And then once you're done, of course, save it. So it would look something like this. Okay, I can now remove this. Save it again. Okay, can you show me if this works? Well, this is only for Ultimate Alexander, and I can't go in there on myself. But what I can do is I can make it so for a second this will work anywhere, like this. Yes, I'll make this file work anywhere, and then I will say, yo, on waymarks on wipe. This should now work anywhere. So what I do is I go into my ACT, I go into plugins, I go into overlay plugin.dll, cactbot, and I reload the overlay. So now it has reloaded my changes. So this file works everywhere instead of just in T. So now I will go somewhere where I can demonstrate that this works. So undersized party, and luckily I know for a fact that the arena in AlphaScape v4 has the exact same size as in T. So I'm going into here, and once I'm in here and I wipe, cactbot will send a command to Paisley Park to place waymarks. So here I am. I need to wait for this ring to go away so I can actually jump off. So I'm now jumping off, and once this black screen goes away, there should be waymarks here. And there are the waymarks. It worked. So this is how you make it work. You can, one tip I can tell you is this. You can edit existing triggers. So for example, what you can do is this entire thing here, this run thing that starts here and ends here, this thing, you can copy this, and then you can find a trigger that already exists. So for example, in Titan, you find the trigger that says get off front right. So there are the healer jails, and you can place waymarks, the 1 and the 2 waymark for where the healers stand, and the waymark saying 1, that is the jail that needs to be killed first. So what you could do, for example, is you can place a 1, 2 on the 1 on the northwest, the 2 on the southwest, and then you can do the same for northwest, northeast, northeast, southeast, and then you can do the same thing turn around, so the 2 is in the north and the 1 is in the south. So you have 4 different layouts for the 4 different callouts. So the callout could be get off front right, get off front left, get off south right, get off south left, and that places the waymarks every time, just as a general example. So how would you do this? This part that I've marked, that's all the call is. So you can copy this and paste this into an existing trigger. So copy this, and then, for example, if I go up here, whenever the double rocket punch happens in the Epic of Alexander Ultimate, what I can do is I just click into here and paste it, and it will work already. That's it. That places the waymarks. All you have to do is to find an existing trigger and place it there, or you can make your own, like I showed you here. Undo this. Great. In case you have any more questions, like for example, you want to make your own trigger but you're unsure on how to do it, in the description down below there's a link to my Discord, and whenever I'm home I will be online in there, and I'm usually answer really quickly. So I hope this guide helped you, and thank you for watching. Click the like and the bell, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.